Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Marauders issues 16 and 17, written by Jerry Dugan, and I enjoyed these two issues quite a bit. Kate Pryde takes vengeance on Sebastian Shaw, and this whole story arc, since it started, didn't have me totally convinced, but with this conclusion that we get in issue 16, got me on board with this whole idea of this power struggle within the Hellfire Club that really shows off the nature of Sebastian Shaw, who plays both sides with the angels and with the demons, tries to capitalize off both. That in many ways he's an asset but also a liability to Krakoa. So now we have Emma Frost and Kate Pryde, which would be the White Queen and Red Queen respectively, moving in and doing this power move on Sebastian Shaw. And at least for Kate Pryde, she has been really restraining herself. They had to wait for the right moment, because for those who don't know, Sebastian Shaw actually killed Kate Pryde to be able to control the Hellfire Club better. She was hindering his business and she had to be removed. Also, Sebastian Shaw tried to kill Lockheed. He actually thought he killed Kate Pryde's pet, but he survived and he was able to find his way back to Madripoor. And there, a family found him, nursed him back to health. So the story starts off with Emma Frost and Kate Pryde confronting Sebastian Shaw over the murder of Kate Pryde. Kate wants some serious vengeance. And what Emma Frost does is that she shoots Sebastian Shaw with a mutant power gun. So now he has no powers, and they actually start beating the crap out of Sebastian Shaw. I also love the fact how they start destroying his whiskey collection. And when I first read this, it sort of felt out of character for Kate Pryde to be so brutal. But then I thought to myself, yeah, Shaw killed her, and in a very terrible way. She drowned to death, which at least for me seems to be one of the worst deaths ever. And she pled with Sebastian Shaw when she was dying not to kill Lockheed, and he tried to do it anyways. Obviously, he did this to cover his tracks. And another thing is that Shaw speculated, since Kate Pryde couldn't use the Krakoan gates, it was possible she wasn't a mutant in the first place, so she would not be able to go through the mutant resurrection process. But obviously she was resurrected. That whole part of the story was handled very poorly. The whole problem was resolved very quickly, and there was no issues with the fact that she was a mutant. Her phasing powers messed with the resurrection protocol, and that's it. So the thing is that Sebastian Shaw thinks to himself, okay, I'll jump out the window, commit suicide, I'll be resurrected. He would be able to escape this torture and then later on try to plead his case to the Quiet Council. So he jumps out this window to try to unalive himself, but he survives. He probably breaks every single bone in his body. The whole scenario of Kate Pryde dragging him back in is freaking hilarious. So now we have Sebastian Shaw totally broken when Kate Pryde tells him, look, I have someone else that really wants to take vengeance on you. And we get Lockheed, who does something terrible to Sebastian Shaw. He actually rips out his eye. It's very gruesome. So after all this goes down, Emma Frost tells Sebastian Shaw, look, everything that happened is past us. Let's have a toast. Emma Frost tells Sebastian Shaw this is a Hellfire problem, and it stays a Hellfire problem. So they have this toast, and what they do is they actually put venom within the whiskey of Sebastian Shaw. It's such a messed up move, and Emma Frost tells him, look, this was the poison that the Verendi were using, your associates. They developed it to kill mutants, so if you die, we're going to make sure that within the list of the resurrection protocols, you stay way at the back, to the point that there's always going to be another mutant that's going to have more of a priority before you. And if you survive, you're just going to be a shell of yourself. you're going to live a very agonizing life, but you will remain the Black King, and that the Hellfire Club from this point on is going to operate off of Krakoa. So now they have this very tight leash around Shaw's neck. But he also plays along with this. He really wants to see what Emma Frost's endgame is now. Then in issue 17, we have Callisto, who actually pleads with Storm. I never realized that she never got her powers back after M-Day. She sort of did. I remember she got them back by Quicksilver, but you had the whole weird thing with the tears and crystals, and her powers just went crazy. So she wants to do the Crucible, that fight to the death, that was severely messed up, and Apocalypse was responsible for that. The thing is that he's not around anymore, so Callisto asks Storm to do it. And at first Storm refuses. Now the thing is that even though these characters are friends by this time, there's a lot of history between both of them. So we get to the day of the Crucible, and no one wants to volunteer into fighting against Callisto, because it's pretty obvious that this only seems to be a really good idea for Apocalypse, like to resolve this problem this way. So what happens is, out of respect, Storm arrives, and after a very brief battle, Storm just one-punches Callisto. It's really awesome. And it's actually presented as this total act of respect and mercy. It's very well how it's told. It feels like this very emotive moment. So what happens is we have Callisto. She goes through the resurrection protocols. Now she's back and very, very grateful that she has her powers again. Then the story cuts to Emma Frost, who has moved the headquarters of the Hellfire Club to the island that Magneto obtained from Namor. In that Magneto one-shot that, now reading the story, it should have been incorporated into the Marauder series. So now Emma and company are going to operate the Hellfire Club far away from Krakoa. Also, another thing that I thought was pretty cool about these issues is that Kate Pryde goes back to Madripoor, and she actually helps financially the very poor family that nursed Lockheed back to health. And another really cool detail is that Lockheed is sort of dealing with PTSD because obviously he almost died. So we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.